Happy morning. We'll have today's life lesson in three parts. Part one, where I will discuss a little about what happened in Bangalore when I was in Bangalore recently in a particular evening. Part two, where we will have a very beautiful group activity. And part three, where I'll ask you to ask any questions if you may have one or two. So last evening I was at the house of Nimisha, Swapnil and Ara. Nimisha runs the Keep Moving movement work in Bangalore. And she has managed to create a very beautiful team of volunteers there. In 3 years, she has been able to scale it from 11 people to, as of now, 38 volunteers. And they are very upset with themselves that we have only 38 volunteers. They want to make it 60, 70 volunteers. So they say it's still work in progress. Met a few people in her house, all of them who are a part of KMM. And it was very beautiful to hear certain stories, which I will share with all of you. The baseline and the intention behind sharing these stories is, there is so many stories out there. You meet people, you talk with them, you listen to them, and you realize what are the different beautiful approaches that can be taken by different people in different situations. Sometimes our life becomes too routine. Same office, same home, same people, same interaction. Same newspaper, different dates, but same news. There's this guy called Ravi Agarwal. Now, Ravi is a director in PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the top accounts firms in the whole world. Very capable person, very committed person, very busy person. But he decided to take KMM this last year, 2018. And his wife, Nimisha, all told them you have to be there for every session. It's a very strict commitment. Sometimes your customers might call, yet your priority will be this work. And Ravi said, yeah, I'll manage. It so happened that during KMM, he had to travel to US once. And he ensured that he lands on the day when he's supposed to take a session inside the classroom. So he had a 22-hour flight, landed around 1:30 in the morning in Bangalore, and he had a session at 7:30 a.m. So his wife knows that every time he travels, how he comes back and how he has to take rest, how he has to take sleep, how he has to manage jet lag. So she told him, Ravi, आप मत जाओ, मैं चली जाती हूँ session लेने. Ravi said, in the class I heard, first things first, first time right. So my first commitment has to stand, and I've given a commitment for the KMM session. Whatever happens, I will go and take the session. After that, if I have to sleep, I'll sleep. But nobody else will take the session in my place. I only will give. So flew for 22 hours, still in jet lag. Those of you who have gone through jet lag, you know it can be sometimes really complicated. But went to the school and took the session. He said, most importantly, the way my confidence has increased is phenomenal. He said, I have realized to Keep Moving movement that irrespective of where we have reached in life, when we live by our commitments, our confidence goes through the roof. Sometimes in the name of practicality, we give up on our commitments. It could be something as simple as नींद पूरा नहीं हुआ है, कुछ और दर्द से आ गया. And he was explaining that. He was explaining how his entire work life has changed. He says earlier, he will always have team meetings scheduled. But if any client calls, he will run to serve the client. And that is how the entire PwC works. Client is the base, client is reason number one. There will be nobody who will be sacrificed for the client. Client is the supreme de facto ruler. He said, I used to do the same, but then I realized first things first. If I've already set a timing and a meeting for my team, how can client come first? जो first किया वही करने का. So I decided every Monday, second half, will be my team meetings, and whatever happens, irrespective of who the client is, I'm not going to go for client meetings, it will be my team meetings. Said initially the other partners of PwC would be very irritated कि हर मंडे तेरा इतना बात करने का क्या है तेरी टीम के साथ. But as they saw the bonhomie which is existing, the oneness which is there, the intensity with which they are doing their work, the laughter which is there in their team, the jam which everybody can see, they stopped complaining. And today, everybody in the organization knows Monday second half, Ravi will be with his team. Whatever be the occasion, he is not going to sacrifice it if a team meeting has been scheduled. He said, Naren, there is so much peace. My team members, the way they contribute, the way we discuss, everything has changed. Because they realize that I see them as a priority too. And if I have given them a time, that time stays. So if not for KMM, I don't think I would have ever done this. Because every other partner is client first. How can I have the courage to do something different? And not necessarily productive. How do I explain that this meeting will be more productive than a client meeting? But thanks to first things first, first time right, I am able to do this. More importantly, thanks to that session that I took in the morning. The KMM session that I went to school and took in the morning, that has changed my life completely. It's very interesting to listen to Ravi. Ravi has a very lovely wife called Preeti. Last year, Preeti had also come for LIA, Leadership in Action, that we have for ACs. And Preeti shared something about her childhood. We were talking about internal compass. We were talking about internal standards. We were discussing about how it is supremely important to have your own internal yardsticks to your life, rather than a yardstick which is imposed by the world. When Shabana Azmi was a small child, once Shabana Azmi had a desire for a Barbie doll. You know what is a Barbie doll? She told her father, Kaifi Azmi, that I want that fair, golden hair, red lips, blue eyes, Barbie doll. Papa gave her some work saying, if you complete this, I will get you a Barbie doll. And after that got completed, Papa didn't say, get a Barbie doll, he said, I will give you a doll. And after that task was completed, Shabana Azmi was given a dark-skinned, very regular kind of a hair Barbie doll. Now Shabana Azmi became very angry at her father that I wanted that beautiful Barbie doll. Why have you given me this kind of Barbie doll? And Shabana Azmi's father, Kaifi Azmi. Now this is what extraordinary parenting is all about. Looks at Shabana and says, if you think skin and hair makes somebody beautiful, then my dear child, you will have to think again. It is the character of a person who makes somebody beautiful. It is the behavior of a person that makes somebody beautiful. It is how much somebody is of use to others which makes somebody beautiful. Skin and hair and the color of the eyes do not define beauty. Shabana Azmi went on to say in that interview that I am not a proverbial beautiful lady. I am not a Hindi cinema's typical beautiful lady which has big eyes and high cheekbones and absolutely fair in color. I'm not one of them. I'm not a Zinat Aman, I'm not a Praveen Babi, I'm not in those molds. But I could carry a film on my shoulders and I'm as successful a heroine as anybody else is because I have always been confident about myself. So this is what is an internal yardstick. What to me is beauty? The world's definition of beauty might be very different. The world's definition of fashion might be very different. The world's definition of cool might be very different. But what is our definition of different things in life? Your definition of success, your definition of love, your definition of family, your definition of quality time, your definition of giving back to the society. We should have internal yardsticks and internal definitions. Now I was saying that because there was a lady in the meeting who must have been 105, 110 kgs. Very, very sweet girl, very sweet girl. But I could see that there was some kind of a chaos inside. She had a corporate career, now no more in the corporate world. So we just shared this and I said that when you go inside the classroom, please don't look at the children from a particular social standard. See if you can help the children to have a little higher standards inside rather than what the society expects. So never tell if you do this, log kya bolenge. Then what you are doing is you are making social standards at their standards. What we can say is if you do like this, if you can feel confident at the end of it, it might be a smart thing to do. But if you do like this and therefore you will need attention for you to feel your confidence, then you just have to ask yourself whether you are on the right path or not. So we had this very beautiful discussion and then Preeti raised her hand and said, Naren, can I share something? And she said something very beautiful, again amazing parenting. She said, I was a good student. After class 10, I decided to take science in 11th and 12th because I wanted to do my BSc in mathematics. So I love science, I love mathematics. We went to the college for admission and we found there are 75 boys in the class and not a single girl. So the principal looked at my father who had come with me saying, there are only boys, do you want to send your girl to this class? It seems my father looked at Preeti, looked at the principal and said, इसको तो यहाँ पढ़ने आना है, तो अभी लड़कियां और है नहीं है क्या फर्क पड़ता है? लड़के भी तो पढ़ने ही आएंगे ना क्लास में, तो लड़कियां नहीं है तो क्या होगा उसमें? And then he looks at Preeti and asks Preeti, तेरे को कोई बेंच शेयर करने के लिए लड़की चाहिए तभी तो पढ़ पाएगी? तेरे को अगर यहाँ पढ़ने के लिए आना है तो क्लास में कुछ लड़कियां और हो तब तू पढ़ पाएगी? प्रीति सेड, नहीं मेरे को चलेगा. So for 2 years she was the only girl in a class of 75 boys. And she said, because my father was so confident about me, I never got distracted, never had any time pass activities, never had any flings. And then when I wanted to do my graduation, BSc Mathematics, same situation. Class full of boys, I was the only girl. But fortunately, because news travelled that there is one girl in the back, 2 more girls joined. But these 2 girls had a rule. Only Preeti is present, we will come to the class. They had this rule. We can't sit in the class with only boys. So Preeti kind of became their guardian angel. So they had to tell her, then they would not come. She said the beauty is, when somebody sees so much confidence in you, it kind of enhances your self-responsibility. She said, when I go inside the classroom, this is what I do. I look at all the children believing they are going to be champions in life. And she looked at Nimisha and said, The joy that we get with Nimisha is we believe she will never judge us. She says, judge ही नहीं करती है. हम कैसा भी करें ना, कुछ तो अच्छा ढूंढ के निकाल के बोलती है, अरे ये तुम्हारा बहुत अच्छा हो गया. She's an AC, but she won't say, you are wrong over here, you did not do this properly, why you did like this, Naren has taught like that. She'll be a little thoughtful and she will say, that 2-minute mock that you gave was very good, out of 40 minutes. And then she would ask, you need my help? And she said, इतनी sweet है ना, हमको अच्छे से homework करके जाना ही पड़ता है. I don't know how many ACs can do this. When somebody doesn't come with their work properly, do you need my help? Non-judgmental, no aggression. I could see they had so much reverence for Misha. No doubt, the team is growing at such a pace. And mind you, none of them have ever met me, per se. They have seen us on the screen and they know us through Nimisha. And look at the way she can draw people around her. Then we spoke to this girl called Charu. Very interesting. All of you are listening now? Yes. I really request all of you, you should meet new people. If nothing else, meet people and just ask them this, what's your story? Simple question, what's your story? Some of them might say, hey, story matlab, tell me any story of your life. Bachpan ka, kaam ka, your philosophy, political inclination, the sports you played. Tell me a story from your life. Story बताओ. Obviously, you will tell a story where you have been the hero or the heroine, and it's nice for somebody to listen to you. So we heard this girl called Charu. Looks like a very young, regular, 28, 30 kind of a girl. And she was speaking with a lot of intensity. So it so happened, as the meeting was going on, Nimisha was introducing everybody, but she did not introduce Charu. So Charu looked at Nimisha and said, "मेरे को introduce नहीं किया." Because sometimes people introduce in such a way, you want this person only to introduce again. So Nimisha introduced everybody very beautifully. You know, Naren, what is special about Akanksha? Naren, you know what is special about Geeta? You know what is special about Usha? And like that, she began every conversation with, I'll tell you what is special about her. But she somehow skipped Charu. With a giggle, she asked, you didn't introduce me at all. Then she was introduced. Everybody, when they shared, people clapped. For some reason, when Charu shared, there was no clapping. Though Charu's sharing was very deep. And I'll share with you her sharing. So again she was angry. What was Charu sharing? Twins. She gave birth to twins. Lost her confidence. Didn't know what to do in life. Thought she may not amount to much. And came into her life. She said, first session, Lizzie's session. Some of you remember Lizzie? Yes. What was the title of that session? I am unbreakable. She said, first session, my life changed. After that, I have decided for the rest of my life I will do KM. Many choices became. She said, because of twins, I can't leave them and go, so I have to be with my kids. I have to take good care of them. But I also love reading books. She reads one book every week. She reads one book every week. Now what she did is, Every chapter when she will complete, she will write the synopsis of a chapter in a few paragraphs and she will share how she is implementing this in her life. So it's not just reading a book, she is internalizing every book that she reads. And then she will write about how she implemented it with her children. And then she will write about mystery of life, how the same thing worked with one child and not with the other. So he said, one son, he is listening so properly when I take this method. Other fellow is screaming. So she would ask the other mothers, what do you think went wrong? Which means completely honest, absolutely transparent, not showing herself as one big shot who's writing and doing a lot of effort. And she says, I need your help in parenting my child properly. So why this worked with one and did not work with one? Can somebody guide me? Isn't it sweet? No? Yes. Imagine any one of us having the courage to share almost every day the mistakes of our life. And telling people, yaar yaar kaam nahi ho raha hai, zara guide karo na. It's a different high when I guide someone. It makes me feel better. I could tell you, I could solve it for you. I had an idea which probably you did not. I could help you. It's a high. But telling almost every day, this is where I could not produce results. Can somebody help me? To me shows an incredible mindset. Incredible mindset. I don't know of anybody else on this planet who has this kind of a courage to share every day. In fact, many of us might order our family members not to tell our weaknesses to anybody. इसके बारे में किसी को बताया तो दे. And when we were driving to the airport, Nimisa shares with me, Naren, she is IIT-IIM. I don't think there is a better combination than this in the entire world. In the entire world. And chulbuli, it's simple, and she won't even say these are her qualifications, this is the education that she's done. And mind you, I very proudly tell people I passed 12th. Look at the contrast. What a lovely lady she was. And then we had another person. Look at how life plays its part. Incredible it is. There is a guy who sent me a LinkedIn invite a few months back. So I saw his profile, looked like a very good profile. How many of you have heard about Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women Entrepreneurs Drive? Only Joe has heard, others have not heard. Okay. Extraordinary work being done by Goldman Sachs. How many of you heard about Goldman Sachs? It's a consultancy firm. They decided their way of social work would be to train 10,000 women into becoming top class business people. They did some brilliant research all over the world and they found when women are entrepreneurs, 100% of the money goes back to the family. When men are entrepreneurs, let me not tell the numbers to you. So they decided that our contribution to India should be to launch this 10,000 women entrepreneurs program. They chose ISB, the best management college in the country, to to provide that training to people. They launched it around 2011. They wanted to train 10,000. They have trained more than 17,000 till now. And they want to now scale it to 1 lakh. Now, every woman who gets trained, the cost to the management which Goldman Sachs has to give is close to 5 lakhs. So the amount of money Goldman Sachs has committed to India, and these are women who will never come to Goldman Sachs for consultancy. Now you do the calculations, 10,000 women into 5 lakhs. That's their social initiative. The guy who created this entire theme in ISB on behalf of Goldman Sachs was this gentleman, Geeta Krishnan, who had sent me an LinkedIn invite. So I accepted the invite. And since he's so deep in education, when I was making my plans for Bangalore, I sent him a request that if you would like, we can meet for a coffee somewhere. Within half an hour, I got a reply saying that I would love to come for a coffee with you, but my wife is insisting she also wants to come. So may I get Usha, my wife, also? Okay. And then he writes, my wife is a part of KM. And she has been jumping. You're going to meet Naren? You're going to meet Naren? You're going to meet Naren? I said, so we met. We had such beautiful conversation. Such beautiful conversation. This lady, Usha, and when you meet such people and you understand what is a social conscience. There is a school which has been started by some foreigners. The school has about 140 kids. They all come from extremely poor backgrounds. This lady also had a brilliant corporate career. You know, salary of 1 crore and above. And when they shifted to Bangalore, she didn't want to pursue that anymore. And she said, I just want to teach. Now listen. She goes to a school to teach 20 children. And the school is 65 kilometers away from her house. One way. She does up and down in her car because she wants to reach out and teach children. She's saying, I can go to a neighboring school. With my credentials, I can get a job in any school anywhere in this world, forget about India. But that school may not ever get a good teacher. So I want to go there. 65 kilometers every day for 10 children. And every year when Paresh and Joe sit for allocating speakers to schools, there are some speakers who would say, that school lamb hai. कितना लांब है? 6.5 किलोमीटर उसके घर से. बहुत लांब है. I want to call Usha once. And I think all these people, you identify them. Paresh kidhar? Haan. We will fill them in this room and tell Usha to talk to them about what makes her drive 65 kilometers one way in her own car to teach these children. I mean, लोग कैसे होते हैं ना? दिल कैसा होता है ना? मतलब उनकी प्रायोरिटी कितनी क्लीन है. What sense of commitment? What sense of vulnerability? Yeah, I'm okay, I'm failing in these aspects, please guide me. What kind of a confidence of a father on the child? Saying इसको पढ़ने ही तो आना है, क्या issue है? So single evening, meeting some new people, and the magic of KMM, it gets these people together. So all of you are ACs. One of the things that we can do this year as an AC is not only to ensure that session is taken properly or mocks are done properly. It would be so brilliant if we can identify the greatness inside every person who is a part of a team. I'm sure everybody would have their stories. Especially if somebody is a part of KMM means their social conscience is a little strong. And there would be stories for them to share. And each one of these stories kind of changes our life. So I was telling this girl, Charu, I want you to come and join us in Wow Parenting. What a beautiful way to express parenting. This is what I did, it worked. This is what I did not work, guide me. Outstanding. I was there in Bangalore for 4 days, and I've just shared with you what happened in one evening. Like this, there are so many things to share, but probably some other day in some other context. Baseline is, please meet new people. Be interested in learning others' stories. People who look super ordinary might have incredible stories to share. Of course, I'll just share another something beautiful, and then we will do a summarization. Then we'll move for that exercise that I wanted to do with all of you. As I was having my lunch before leaving back, one lady came and sat on the table. She had heard the session in which I was a part of the panel. She said, "You speak very powerfully, blah, blah, blah." And she said, "I also want to join the social sector." I said, "Awesome. What are you looking for in the social sector?" She said, "Joy, fulfillment. Every day I should get a lot of joy." Okay. She asked me, "Can you help me with the job?" Mom, social sector job, okay. How much do you need? She said, "Not much, something which is just fair for my abilities." Okay, but can you put a number around? She said 1.5. Just thinking 1.5 lakh per year, 1.5 lakh per month. So I asked her, 1.5 means? She says 1.5 crore every year. I'll let you know. So that was also another interesting, but of course, needless to say, after that I could not eat food. Where do I go and find a job for her at 1.5 crores at the social sector? Very interesting conversation. So you meet enough beautiful kinds of people as you travel. Sitting next to me in the flight was this young boy, must be about 22 years old. And one of the chattiest boys I have met in a long, long time. Shamelessly. I'm like this. He does this. "Uncle, are you sleeping?" I hated him for 2 things. It's 11:45 in the night. And he's waking up and asking, Uncle, are you sleeping? I would prefer to throw him out of the aircraft. But he's training to be a pilot. And he wanted to tell so much about what is happening. He was analyzing Indigo Airlines and Deccan Airlines and SpiceJet and Go Air. And he was explaining to me about aircrafts and which is a better aircraft, Boeing is better or what is better. Then I had to tell him, after we land, we will have about 5-7 minutes. Then we'll have to take our baggage and move. That time if we talk, is it okay? Happily he said okay, and I was allowed to sleep. It's all kinds of people. Let's do a very small and a very interesting exercise. Books and pens. Very simple question for all of you. Before that, let's summarize. What did you learn out of my little sharing about one evening in Nisha's life? What appealed to you? What hit home? Anything?
The confidence which we have to generate the confidence that can.
Absolutely. The confidence we get when we live up to our commitments is extraordinary. You can't get that confidence by listening to a motivational speaker. That confidence only comes by living by your commitments.
Asking as an area coordinator, asking my people always, I've never asked, never, do you need my help? And I think I implement this in the school also with the children who are from very poor background in everything.
Our perspective towards life changes when we meet new people.
Completely. Some of us actually are a little arrogant about ourselves. We think we are very smart. When you meet these people, suddenly you realize, wow, hey, such ways in which you can look at life. It's very good for us.
Nimisha showed us the quality of leadership, ability to see champion in every person, and non-judgmental approach to all people.
Absolutely. I have never heard anybody say this about anybody, that this person never judges. I mean, what an extraordinary quality to have. By the way, Vikas, you're looking very handsome. No, same to you? Basha?
First thing first.
First things first. First time right. Oof.
Every day calculating mistake and asking for help.
Yeah. Though I must tell you, ask the right kind of people that where do you think I should change? There will be some people who will love it so much, they won't even stop. Okay. Write down the name of any person who really inspires you or a person you really admire.
Whether we have met them or not.
Yeah, absolutely. 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 Okay, very simple solution. All of you who are not able to find any person's name, write my name. My life is to, my work is to make life simple. Now who's that person? अरे बोलो ना, लिखा तो था भी.
आपने बोला ना.
Lizzy, Kiran Bedi, Arunima Sinha.
All girls.
Sorry.
Okay.
Louis A.
Louis A. Okay. So the S is silent. You can take it for granted. Any French name, something is silent. What is silent, you have to figure it out. Otherwise, forget about it.
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Anil?
Subhash
Subhash Chandra.
Baba.
Baba,
Jhansi ki Rani.
झांसी की रानी. First I heard झारखंड की रानी. झारखंड का भी पता है. Then I थोड़ा re-edit किया तो assume what you would have said.
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. Okay.
मेरे लिए ज़्यादा ऋतु
Oh, ऋतु. किधर? Too good. ऋतु की सही घर में आके डिटेल बोल. फेस टू फेस तो बोलता नहीं. Now write down, what do you think were the obstacles they had to overcome? What do you think were the obstacles they had to overcome? So you admire a person, that person inspires you. Has their life been very smooth, or were there challenges in their life which they had to overcome? Okay, as you complete, you can keep your notebooks down. If you are continuing, it's perfectly okay. But we will start a round of mini discussion because that will lead to the next exercise. What is the challenge they had to overcome?
My personal friend Ratan Tata. Challenges was the strike at Pune where we had to do a big strike. And who was second was the symbolic government and national fiasco championship.
Absolutely.
The difficulties he found in the poor Jaguar
Jaguar, Chorus.
and the reputation challenges he faced when there was a reversed support for Tata Tea kind of a thing. When he was supporting Tata Tea was supporting some local people. It was bad that they are supporting something else. So that kind of challenges, the reputation challenges.
Yeah. Then of course, Rusi Modi launched an attack against him in Tata Steel. Darbari Seth launched an attack against him in Tata Chemicals. So these are the number of obstacles he had to overcome. Anybody else? Who inspires you and what do you think were the obstacles they had to overcome?
He had no resources. He
Mm.
had to create a team out of nothing. And literally ask people to give their life for a cause which may not live to see that.
So very interesting. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, the obstacles that he had to overcome in a country which was worshipping Mahatma Gandhi and speaking about victory through non-violence, he was promoting violence as the means for independence. So taking on the might of Mahatma Gandhi was not easy in a country called India. Two, no supporters, no resources. Not born in a Jamindar family where he has crores of rupees. So without any resources, he wanted to create an army. Three, the route that they were taking to reach the borders of India through the jungles of Burma, he knew that 10% of the soldiers will reach the borders, 90% of them will die in their march. So he has to talk to the soldiers saying, 9 out of 10 of you will die. The one which reaches there also may not be enough to win, yet I want you to do this. So the kind of odds that he had to surmount, the kind of difficulties he had to overcome, crazy. And yet that guy entered into it. Anybody else would you like to share? Anybody behind? Aradhana?
She is Dr. Ashwini Vidya Deshpande, a very known Hindustani classical singer. And she is doctorate in microbiology and she is Pandit in Hindustani classical. This is amazing combination क्योंकि दोनों के लिए time चाहिए, focus चाहिए, efforts चाहिए, and she is managing both the things very well.
Wow. Doctorate in two.
Yeah.
Most people don't have time to go to a doctor. पोस्टपोन करते रहते ना, बहुत बिजी आज नहीं, 10 दिन बाद, 1 महीने बाद, पहले एक के पास जाएंगे, फिर दूसरे के पास देखेंगे. Done to doctors. Remember? Anybody else? अरे लिखा है ना, बोलने में क्या शर्म आता है? New hand. Somebody is not spoken today. Yes.
Vishwas Nangre Patil.
Who is he? Police inspector.
Yes.
What is the obstacles you overcame?
Actually उनका घर का background as a political है. तो वो उसमें बहते जा रहे थे. उनके सर ने उनको बताया और वहाँ पे वो एक बार पकड़े गए गांव के इसमें. तो वहाँ पे पुलिस इंस्पेक्टर ने बताया कि ये आप रॉन्ग वे पे चल रहे हो. तो उन्होंने वहाँ से बाहर आके फिर खुद को डेवलप किया और यहाँ तक पहुँचे.
Okay. Nice.
Again, Narendra, Swami Vivekananda.
Okay.
Like that, when he has spoke, हमेशा उनका बहुत वो भाषण ब्रदर एंड सिस्टर्स जो यूएस में उन्होंने किया, तो वहाँ जाने के लिए उनको बहुत ज़्यादा ऑब्स्टिकल रहे थे. उनको वहाँ पे एंट्री नहीं मिला था. Then he has to go to one lady वहाँ पे. तो उनका एक स्टोरी जो मैंने सुना, तो इतना ये करके वो वहाँ तक पहुँचे और जो स्पीकिंग एबिलिटी उन्होंने देखा है कि उसके बाद लोग नॉर्मली स्पीकर्स उनको लास्ट में रखते थे स्पीकिंग के लिए, कि जब तक वो है तब तक लोग बैठेंगे और उनका सुनेंगे. सो वहाँ तक पहुँचना वाज उनका बहुत बड़ा उसके ऊपर स्टोरी. तो वो फर्स्ट जो अटेम्प्ट था जिसके वजह से दे रीच्ड
Parliament of Religions, Chicago.
तो उनको रास्ते पे भी रहना पड़ा था. उनके पास से पूरा आइडेंटिटी खो गया था. That was a very weird story जो मुझे नहीं पता था, मैंने आज
नाम नरेंद्र है ना, तो कुछ तो.
That's true.
Let's do something now. Create groups of 6 and then I will tell you what has to be. The idea is very simple. You will discuss for about 15 minutes. The theme is how do we overcome, and we are not talking about obstacles over here, we are talking about setbacks. How do we overcome setbacks in life? So listen to me for a couple of minutes and then we will start the work. If it is okay, pivot your bums a little and look towards me. I'm really testing some of your comfort zones. Kala. Obstacles and setbacks are two different things. Setback is something which takes you back. It sets you back. That's why it's called setback. It's like a disaster or a failure or a betrayal or something completely unexpected. It is in a way a tragedy. Obstacle on the other hand is not a tragedy. It is a difficulty on the path. For example, if I ever go to climb Mount Everest, there will be a lot of obstacles. Setback will be if I lose my oxygen cylinders. Now that will be a setback. So two things which stops a person in life is obstacles and setbacks. Now I'm assuming all of us over here are not scared of obstacles. But we may not have the mental fortitude to face setbacks. That is why if we fail, what will happen? If this employee leaves me and goes, then what will happen? If that customer does not buy from me, what will happen? Now all these in our mind is like possible setbacks. And therefore, even if we are businessmen doing crores, we still act out of fear. Even if you are a very qualified person with a lot of resources, you will still act out of fear. Because mentally, we are not yet ready enough for a setback in life. We are a little fragile when we think setback आया तो मैं handle नहीं कर पाएगा. Setback आया तो मैं टूट जाएगा. As a result of which, amazing opportunities are missed. Exceptional people and relationships are never developed. I know many people who say, I don't like close relationships because what if it doesn't work out? So I don't become close to anybody. Because only if I am close, my heart will break. If I am not close, my heart will never break. So which means they don't enjoy relationships. It is only formalities in their life. Because they are scared of a possible setback. Let's take another example. A student studying for chartered accountancy failed 3 times. Now this is an obstacle because they are not able to crack it. But in their mind, every time they don't qualify, it is a setback. इतना पढ़ा फिर भी नहीं हुआ. So always remember that the world doesn't care about your efforts. The world cares about the quality of your effort. For you, 10 hours of studying and sacrificing some marriages, some holidays, etc. might be a big deal. But the quantum of subject which had to be covered, if you are not able to cover in 10 hours, the world does not owe you anything. But I see it as a setback, and therefore I start also thinking I am not good enough. And therefore reduce the size of my dreams and start compromising in everything in life. Some of us, because we don't have confidence in the first place, we don't even start in the journey imagining possible obstacles. अरे यार ये obstacle आएगा अपने से नहीं होएगा. So these are two terms which limits us tremendously. Tremendously. What are the two terms? Obstacles and setbacks. Now I don't want you to take a deep dive in the word obstacle because that is a very, very easy part. Most of you are part of KMM, so you know how to speak about obstacles. What I want is for us to discuss about setbacks. So there's a single word. How do we overcome setbacks in life? Now this is the theme of the conversation. The background is all the people who inspire us, all the people whom we truly deeply appreciate, had overcome enough obstacles as well as fought back after setbacks. So somebody promised Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, I will give you so much money. But when Netaji went, I am sorry, I won't be able to get it. So he made a dream on the promise of this person's money. And when money was told no, that's a setback in life. So anybody who inspires you, if you look closely into life, you will find they had enough setbacks in their life. So the theme of your discussion is how to overcome setbacks in life. So what you can do is, very openly, there is no shame, you don't have to hold yourself at all. You can be like Charu, and you can share that this is the setback which broke me, this is the setback which stopped me, this is the setback I have not been able to overcome, or this was my setback and this is how I overcame my setback and I kept moving in life. So first round, speak about this, about your life. In some rare cases, maybe you will say, my life, there is no setback as such, it's been pretty smooth. Which is also fair enough. And then discuss about, in life, if there is ever a setback, how should we face it? Okay? 15 minutes. 15 minutes में नहीं होगा, 20 minutes. Any insights?
A lot, like everyone is like elder over there, and where there is a will, there is a way. Then something is better than nothing. Then one of the schoolers told that you should always have incoming setbacks also. So if you're planning something, what is going to be like the setback if this thing doesn't happen? So that is also good. And the way each one of them handle their pressures, like the pressures. Very much related.
Nice. Son?
You should have one good friend who is like a sponge, who will absorb everything what you are sharing. Many a times what I found is that just by sharing to that friend or you have come to found the solution automatically. But you should have a very good friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the Dean of ISB, Ajit Rangekar, he was sharing very beautifully that there is a dearth of good listeners in the world. There is no dearth of talkers in the world. Everybody wants to talk, but nobody wants to listen. So you're saying in this world, if you can be an exceptional listener, you will never have a shortage of it. So everybody wants a friend, but not everybody wants to be a friend. So let's begin by being great listeners.
I'm not gauging it at a large number of audience, but out of what the people I involved with, I think most of us, we have this factor of what if in our minds, and that is where the setbacks begin, before even setbacks come. I think that was what I took out, and I was like, let's not put what if first, let's put the discipline first.
Excellent. You know, there is one life lesson where we played this game called If Then. And to me, many things in life have got sorted out because of this If Then. If this happens, then this is what I will do. Rather than this should not happen at all. So if my best person leaves, then this is what I will do. Gives you much more strength than, oh my God, my best person should never leave me anymore. There are some setbacks which we cannot avoid usually. Why? Because we are not today in a maturity to even think about it. But the maturity of thinking can be if then. We have the confidence to face any setback in life. If the mindset is, oh no, then we won't even come out of our comfort zones. So follow this if then and be ready for any setback. Anybody else?
it is not obstacle or what setback stops us, but what we think in that time, it all makes the difference. So if I look at that setback as it is an opportunity, all perspective of life changes, and it's just a matter of time that I will achieve it.
Beautiful. Now listen to me for a few minutes, and after that we will do a very beautiful process. We recently did a design thinking workshop for wow parenting. Brilliant it was. Brilliant. In the design thinking workshop, amongst the 150 ideas that we had, all the ideas were clubbed into 3 buckets. But one particular bucket is supremely important in today's discussion. So in the 3 buckets there was content, communication, and the third, which is supremely important, was context. Listen carefully. Nothing in life is absolute. Everything in life has a meaning or a thread in context of something else. If I am alone, the same setback will be different. Like Prashant was saying, if I have a good friend with me, the context changes, and therefore the same setback therefore does not even look like a setback anymore. Everything in life is context. My father is upset with me, he is upset with me 100 times, I will still love him and respect him. The context is gratitude. Somebody else for whom I do not have gratitude, he is upset with me once, I may not relate to him for the rest of my life. Over there, the context could have been vyavahar, it could have been neighbor. Everything in life has a meaning and relevance based on the context in which we see it. This includes commitments, this includes discipline, this includes every aspect of life. So I took the 10:45 flight from Bangalore last night. Flight was delayed by close to 1.5 hours. So let's say slept around 2:30. On another day, I may not have woken up at 5:30. I might have woken up at 7, 7:30, 8. But since the context was life lessons, waking up at 5:30 was also effortless. Because 6 o'clock we have to leave, 6:15 we have to reach here, etc., etc. Decisions, dreams, our emotional balance, our resilience, everything should be understood in its context. Success also has different meanings in context. I have 10 crores and I earn 3 crores. It's different. I have no money and I earn 3 crores. It's different. From taxation point of view, it is the same. But the context was completely different. You grow up in a city like Pune and you start something over here, it's different. You have never been to Chennai, you don't know anybody in Chennai, you go and start something in Chennai, it's very different. In both the cases, it is starting a business. But the context is very different. We have been discussing with Vijay quite often, what if Amazon enters into medicine delivery business? Misha's husband, is a part of the Amazon advertising team. And he was saying, we have already entered into medicine in US. Anywhere where logistics is involved, and we don't have to add tremendous value. मतलब हम लोग 100 किलो लेके 1-1 किलो में पैक नहीं करने वाले. But कहीं से source करके कहीं supply करना. If logistics is involved, then it is an area which Amazon would like to enter into. What is Amazon's story? Your margin is our opportunity. That's its thing. Your margin is our opportunity. Now earlier we would discuss only Amazon, but now I'm wondering what if Uber Eats moves into medicines? If it can pick up freshly made hot food from a restaurant and deliver it at my office in 30 minutes time. Tomorrow Uber Eats decides to go into just medicine delivery. All I need to do is set a medicine over there, it will pick it up from one of the stores and deliver it to me. And with the kind of infrastructure, investment, software, ground force already at its disposal, what can happen? So when he understands it in the context of technology, the way he looks at his business changes. When he understands it in terms of opportunity, the way he looks at business changes. When he looks at it from the perspective of how about becoming the biggest supplier to Amazon, the context changes. Our thinking completely depends on the context we carry inside our head. If the context for everything, listen carefully. If the context for everything is I want an easy life, then the smallest of setbacks will be the biggest curse for you. If the context is I don't want any pressure, any stress whatsoever, then the courage with which I will live my life will always be in question. So I can speak to you about the necessity of courage. You will also nod your head, yeah, courage is right. But the context of your life is, मेरे को pressure नहीं मानता है. So the entire life will rotate around context. If my context is learn and share, then wherever I get a good book, wherever I get a good company, wherever I meet even a stranger, I don't mind interacting with them so that I can learn. And I learn so that I can share. Therefore, meeting new people is a delight. Breaking comfort zones is a delight. Talking with champions who are number one in their field, in their world, is a delight. Nobody has to push you. That's the context. But if your context is not about learning and not about sharing, then even if you listen to me speaking 10 times, go and meet people, you won't be able to do it. Life का context ही अलग है. I spoke to you about Ada the other day. Remember, Nobel Prize winner at the age of 80. Now she's working full time. What is the research? The first revolution in humanity was the invention of language. Before that, everything has to be assumed. Now language comes in. Because of language, we are having this session. The cells of the body also talk to each other in a language. Imagine a mosquito bites over here. Have you ever hit yourself here?
Yes.
If the mosquito bites there? So, this is missing the context. Understand, this is really nice. The mosquito bites, even if your eyes are closed, you go over there. If there is a scratch over here, you don't tell anybody else, देख तो किधर scratch आ रहा है. You know exactly where the scratch is there. Exactly. Which means, how brilliantly is this cell of my body communicating to the central nervous system, which is then communicating to my fingers to reach that part of my body and scratch. I exercise, the muscles over here rupture, and the message goes over here, and next time when I eat nutrients, it is automatically sent over here so that this muscle becomes better, and that is how I develop greater muscles. I exercise this part, and excess proteins is not sent over here now. So these cells of the body are talking to each other. Now Ada says, I have understood how to crystallize the RNA. I have understood the RNAs are the building blocks because they are the protein builders of the body. Now I want to know how do they communicate to each other so that tomorrow if my kidney is failing, every nutrient which is required should go there and my kidney should be able to heal itself. The way blood coagulation happens, the way there is a scratch over here, उसके ऊपर आराम से एक layer आ जाता है. Similarly, the major organs of my body should also be able to regenerate themselves. The secret is in the RNA. I want to learn how do these cells communicate to each other. And there is so many possibilities. She says, कम से कम 20 से 30 साल का ये research है. And I have already started. 50 years old. She has a project which will take 20 to 30 years. And she is working full time. Now for her, is age a context? Nobel Prize winner, nothing to prove. She is the best in the world. Name is there, fame is there, money is there, education is there, achievements are there. But she believes she can crack this. She believes she can solve this and therefore probably save millions of lives. And then maybe some of us who might believe, now I am already 60. अभी क्या करने का? मतलब टैंक इज एम्प्टी नाउ. एक ड्रॉप डीजल नहीं है तो गाड़ी आगे कैसे चलेगी? And at 80 she is planning for the next 30 years. So now what is age? Even if somebody calls you uncle. No need to get upset. Because I don't think if somebody calls other grandmother, great grandmother, it's going to make any difference to the way she lives her life. Setbacks. If some goal in your life is worth it, then you care a damn about the number of setbacks. You will still plow on, you will still go on. You will be at it. How many setbacks do you think Ada would have had when she goes to find out how an RNA can be crystallized, and it takes her close to 30 years of work? 30 years of work, how many setbacks would have been there? Now, who cares about a setback? Rule number one, if you want an easy life, you will really care about setbacks. Rule number two, if you are really bothered about what the world thinks about you, you will be really bothered about setbacks. नहीं मेरा 3 बार नहीं हुआ, अभी लोग मेरे को क्या बोलेंगे? मैं जहां भी जाता हूं ना तो लोग बोलते हैं तूने 3 बार कर दिया, उसका तो पहली बार हो जाता है, तीसरे बार में भी तेरे से नहीं हुआ, तेरे से नहीं होगा, तू छोड़ दे. We started the life lesson by saying have internal yardsticks, not public yardsticks. Did you do a good job? If yes, what did you learn? Where do you need to focus on that? If no, what stopped you from doing a great job? Rectify that and this time do a great job. Have internal yardsticks, not public yardsticks. There will be a Misha who will lead 38 people, she might lead 50 people. Her yardstick is every school should have it. Her context is KMM changed her life and she wants everybody to be a part of KMM so that it can change their life. That's the context out of which she operates. Her context is not, if I ask people and if they say no, मैं क्या करूँगा? That's not her context. Let people say no. But I want to reach out. So is she bothered about name? She's not. Is she looking for an easy path? No, she's not. You're bothered about name or you're bothered about an easy path, then you will never be able to face setbacks in life. होएगा ही नहीं तुमसे. Whether you're inspired by Jhansi ki Rani or whether you're inspired by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, नहीं कर पाओगे. Because look at the context of their life. What was the context through which Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose operated? What's the context with which Jhansi ki Rani operated? Not Kangana Rao. Actual Jhansi ki Rani. To understand people, understand their context. To understand people, understand their dreams. Then you will know what is the context of their life. And to understand your own capabilities of facing a setback. Understand the context behind what you do. What do you think is Usha's context when she travels 65 kilometers one way? What was Ravi's context when he traveled for 22 hours, landed, and in 3-4 hours was ready to take a session of camp? What is Charu's context? When an IIT-IIM, probably the world would say, you are so highly qualified, what are you doing at home? She has set a personal context. I want to devote myself to bringing up my children well. This is my biggest project in life. इसके लिए मैं दुनिया में सबसे हेल्प लेंगे. Very simple. If my priority is my children, then why should I stop from taking help from others? If my priority is no, I am capable, then even if it harms the children, I will not do what is required. Context. Context shapes everything. The final few sentences before which we close. In the context of what you think in life is fear, you may act out of rebellion, but you will not act out of courage. Hey, but that's a rebellion, that's not courage. Courage is sustained. Courage is like a battery, it will give you energy for a long time. Rebellion is like a trampoline. You have to just jump once, but it brings down immediately. Momentary rebellion is easy. Courage means in the same direction, day after day, month after month, year after year, you are at it, even when there are setbacks. So your capacity to handle setbacks completely depends on the context with which you are living life or looking at life. If you are a scientist like others, you know there will be 2,000 setbacks. Not one, not two, 2,000 setbacks will be there. Because so many possibilities, millions of possibilities. Every time I fail, there will be some person who is sitting in a grants department who will say, this is not working, we want to give funds to somebody else. And they are doing their job well. They have little money and they want to use that money properly. And I have to fight with them again to say why you should continue to pay money over here. And some of them will say, no, I have to go and search for another grant somewhere. Because we are talking about a 30-year research project. But the outlook will be, how many of you have read Harari's book? Noah Harari? If you have not, you should.
Sapiens.
Brilliant author. Sapiens. Amazing book. Books are thick, you can do weightlifting with that. But they are very good books. Now Harari, when he was in India recently, in a penguin launch in Bombay, he was saying within 20 years, human beings will be able to live till the age of 120. Within 20 years. We will crack the death wala thing. Because human beings' quest for immortality, that means I want to live longer, will not end. They want to live longer. So those of you who are 60, you are thinking, any day you might kisko. If you are alive for 20 years, get ready to be alive for another 40 years after. And that is how medicine science will improve. But it says, one thing which a human being will not be able to conquer is their quest for happiness. That biology, AI, ML, artificial intelligence, machine learning and all will never be able to snatch it. Their machines will never be able to replicate. I don't know how many of you study technology, but Microsoft is attempting to create something which is called as the Cortana. In times to come, boys and girls will not date each other. In the galactic space of the internet, your Cortana will be there and that girl's Cortana will also be there. The Cortanas will talk to each other to decide whether you are right for each other or not. And whatever Cortana says is the final decision. Just like arranged marriage of old times. But this time it is artificial intelligence. Earlier it was original intelligence. Now this world is changing. It is changing faster than you and I know. Now in this changing world, if you get your context right, everything of life will become right. If the context is wrong, nothing of life will be right. So get the context right. चाहिए क्या? और जो चाहिए उससे जो और चाहिए वो मिलेगा क्या? मेरे को बड़ा घर चाहिए, ठीक है, बड़े घर से क्या होगा? बहुत सुख मिलेगा. बड़े घर से सुख मिलेगा क्या? Context समझ लो. I want to go for a holiday abroad. Why? Then I'll feel good about myself. Will a holiday abroad make you feel very good about yourself? Or are there other ways also by which you can feel very good about yourself? Get the context right. You get the context right, you will get life right. You will face any setback with a smile. Context right nahi hai. I tell you again. Very difficult to get life right. You might have crores of rupees. But like Harare says, that happiness won't be a part of you. Because happiness is all about seeing things in the right context. March 30th, we are having a meditation camp. And I promise you it will be a very, very beautiful meditation camp. Today or tomorrow, Joe will post in the respective groups details about the meditation camp. It's a Saturday. So those of you who want to come, please block your 30th of March from now. It will be very interesting and very beautiful if some of you extended today's life lesson into some other discussion with your children, with your friend, whoever you are meeting today. That मेरे life का ये context है. This is what drives me. These are my goals. This is why these are my goals. This is why I feel low. This is why I feel good. Everything is a context. And ask people, what's your context? It will be an interesting exercise. So, please share with me through WhatsApp, email, message. What's your main takeaway so that I can read it and know in what context you liked what you liked. And next Sunday we'll come back with yet another beautiful